In the late 1800s and early 1900s, the vast land of Western Canada, places like Manitoba, Saskatchewan, and Alberta, were quiet and mostly unsettled, but things would change forever. People came all over the West. The world began arriving, families, farmers, and dreamers, each searching for a better life. This is a story of how immigration built the Canadian West.
So why did people come? It all started with the Canadian government's plan to populate the West. After Canada became a country in 1867, the government wanted to expand westward to strengthen control over the land and grow the economy. To do this, they passed the Dominion Lands Act of 1872. It offered 160 acres of land for just $10, as long as settlers lived there and farmed it for at least 3 years. But there was another reason too. Many people are struggling in their home countries. In Europe, especially in Ukraine, Poland, Scandinavia, and Germany. Farmland was expensive and jobs were hard to find.
Down at Moulton Airport, Toronto, a Skymaster brings 39 British immigrants, men and women, to the beginning of a new chapter in their lives. Leaving the plane, mechanics, draftsmen, farm workers, and typists receive a warm-hearted welcome from Ontario's
Life in the Canadian West wasn't easy. When settlers arrived, they found endless grasslands, cold winters, and very few neighbors. They had to build their own home, often found using sod, lack of grass, and soil, because there was no trees nearby. They worked long days plowing land, planting seed, and caring for the animals. Many people found loneliness, hairy fires, and harsh snowstorms. But over time, small villages began to grow into towns. Railways like the Canadian Pacific Railway made it easier to bring supplies and sell crops. Immigrants brought their culture, food, and languages, shaping what we now call the Canadian Prairies.
This first party is the spearhead of 7,000 more Britons who are to fly to Canada within the next few months. May good fortune attend them in their new careers, made possible only by the enterprise and generosity of a great Dominion.
The West quickly became one of the most diverse regions in Canada. Ukrainians brought their farming traditions and built golden dome churches. Chinese workers, many of whom had helped build the railways, opened restaurants and stores. British and French settlers found schools and towns. Indigenous peoples who had lived there for thousands of years faced major changes as settlers moved in, often losing land and traditional ways of life. This mix of cultures created the foundation for the multicultural Canada we know today. But it also brought conflict and hardship, especially for the Indigenous nations.
To farm. Makes you think maybe the city's not as important as you thought. When you get to the station, take a yellow bus, they said. Just ask the driver to let you off at Ed Blake.
Lasting impact. By the early 1900s, millions had settled in Canadian West. Wheat farms turned the prairies into a breadbasket of a world. New cities like Winnipeg, Regina, Calgary, and Edmonton began to thrive. But beyond the economic growth, immigration changed Canada's identity. It made the country more diverse, stronger, and deeply connected to culture from all over the world. The story of immigration and settlement in the West is a story of courage, hard work, and hope of people who crossed oceans and built a new home from the ground up. Closing sentence. Today, when we look across the prairies, we see more than just land. We see the dreams of those who came before us, who turned wild fields into a home called Canada. Thank you for listening.